Now, America is threatening to sanction Ghana over LGBTQ. And you know, these have been something that the continent of Africa have been battling with the US for the past 2-3 years. All right, this whole you have to pass the bill that you have to pass the bill for or in support of the LGBTQ, and the African governments are saying no, we need to go against this one this time around. And I think this is the only space where most African countries are getting it right now. Mind you, these are human beings. These are people who have right to decide whatever they want to decide for themselves. But the African people have a culture. We have a culture, we have a way of life that we have to protect. Now, mind you, there have been a lot of things of ours that have been influenced by the European culture. And this time around, people are coming out. Some governments are beginning to see to some point and say, okay, no, we have the right to make decisions for ourselves. This time around, we are not accepting what you're forcing on us. And it's like the US government is threatening the Ghanaian government right now. And, oh, you are going against human rights, the whole US, that intrude in people's privacy without, you don't need to invite the US, so you see them there. All right, they are the ones going out to preach human rights to African leaders over LGBTQ. They have the right to be whatever they want to be. They have the right to be a he or she. Because of course, the Jesus they give to you is a he and she at the same time. After the threats, the president of Ghana is indecisive. He's like he was on the fence. He don't know what to do. He don't know whether he should follow the US government that are saying you have to make this a right for these people. He passed a bill against them, and if he does for them, he have to answer to his people. If he does against them, he have to answer to the US government, because they have threatened him with sanctions of some amount of dollars that I believe the Ghanaian government is more than. So, you remember when they were on the neck, they were on the neck of the Zimbabwean government, right? You remember that time, they were always following this man. You have to accept this. In short, they took it as a direct threat to them. And this is exactly what the US government does, especially when it comes to LGBTQ. If you are a sovereign body and you refuse to pass the bill for LGBTQ, they will take it as a direct threat to the government. Come on. We all have our cultures, we have our beliefs. Is it not enough that you came in and forced a lot of things down our throats? This is a time that at least our leaders have a little bit of, I think they allow their conscience to work a bit this time, and they say, no, we are not accepting this thing. All right? We are not accepting. Why must you force something on people? That is the question I'm asking. All right? So let's listen to Timo Media. You can check him out on YouTube as well as Timo Media, and then you can follow him. He does great content as well.
The best way to identify a puppet leader is critical decision making. The president of Ghana is scared to sign the anti-LGBTQ bill. For the sake of those who are not aware what is happening, let me give you the background story. So last week, Ghana Parliament passed the anti-LGBTQ bill, and all eyes on our president to sign it into law. And currently, Ghana president is hesitating to sign this particular bill. So according to Bloomberg, Ghana delaying actions on anti-LGBTQ bill after court challenge. So according to the finance ministry, Ghana will lose 3.8 billion if the president signs this anti-LGBTQ bill. Okay, good. Let me put it here before the social media zombies start attacking me that Timo is lying. So this is what the finance ministry is saying, 3.8 billion. You can also go on BBC, it's also there. Multiple media houses reported this particular story. Okay, so if Ghana lose 3.8 billion, are we going to die? Of course, no. Let me remind the finance ministry that according to Auditor General report, between 2019 and 2020, over 10 billion US dollars got missing in this country, and we didn't die. 10 billion US dollars went missing. So if Ghana is to lose 3.8 billion, why are we going to die? What is going to happen? Absolutely nothing. If we can't even take decision about our own sexual life, what makes us independent? Ordinary sexual life. We are not allowed to choose the way of life we want to live. What makes us independent? This current president of Ghana is destroying the future of Ghana. Never in Ghana history have we allowed Europeans or Americans to build a military base on our soil. This president came to office, he gave the whole of Terminal 1 to these Americans to use as a military base. And the most annoying thing is, whatever Americans are bringing inside Ghana, Ghanaians have no right to question whatever they are bringing in. Right after Parliament passed this anti-LGBTQ bill, the White House came out and they started threatening the president of Ghana. It will be a big mistake if the president failed to sign this bill. This is going to make us a direct satellite country of America. How can we say no to them when they have a military base here? How can we work against their interests when they have a military base here? Do you think the military base is meant for exhibition? No.
People who lose their identity have lost their nation. Ghana is not the 51st state of the United States. Tell the American people, you either do business with us on our terms or you can walk. American businesses that operate in Ghana are not in Ghana because of LGBTQ. They are in Ghana because they make a profit. If you think that because we are protecting our cultural values and saying no to LGBTQ, you want to lose $100 million in profit, pack up and go. Africa must begin to assert our rights. We're not puppets and stooges of the West. And it's just the sheer hypocrisy of America and the West. Carter buys over $1 billion of military hardware every year from America. The punishment for homosexuality in Qatar is death. In Nigeria, the punishment in your law for same-sex marriage is 14 years imprisonment. The maximum in Ghana's law is just 3 years. Has Nigeria's economy collapsed? The American economy would not run and the Western economies would not run without African raw material. Why should Ghanaian cocoa and Nigerian cocoa be traded on the New York Stock Exchange and not on the Ghanaian Stock Exchange? I mean, a bank should not be threatening the customer and saying, I won't give you a loan if you don't do what I want. If I don't come to you for a loan, you don't turn a profit. The CDC says that homosexuals are 400% more likely to be suicidal. The young man who walked into a school in the United States 3 months ago and shot up 22 kids was transgender. And this all came from a mental disorder because of him having undergone a gender change or gender reassignment when he was 8 years old. Even on the African continent, which country has the highest crime rate? South Africa. Why? Because they've embraced homosexuality as one of the growing factors in that country.
And I keep saying this, we are a conquered people. Even up until today, we think we have independence or we've cut off from colonial masters. Now we are on our own. We are still being controlled. Because in every aspect of our life, everything that happens by day to each countries in the continent shows the power or the hold that these people have on us still. Like he said, if we don't have control over our sexual life, even our sexual life, they don't want us to have control over it. Oh, today you can be whatever, and that is the worst that can happen to the nine-ether being, when there is no control, especially when it comes to that lower part of ourselves, that lower part of who we are, our sexual life. So today, if you want to have sex with a man, I'm sorry I'm being vulgar here, but I think we need to pass this message. As a nine-ether being, if you want, okay, today is a woman and I want to have sex with you, follow. Oh, today, no, my body is doing me like I should have sex with a man now, you go. Oh, today is to have sex with the animal, you go. Oh, tomorrow is to have sex with a thing, you go. How do we build our spiritual life when we become conquered? When we bring ourselves so low, we stoop so low to act like dogs. Yes. There are Africans who practice these things in the society, but they are in hiding. And the number is even increasing by day. Just imagine when this bill is passed for them. Imagine how the continent will become. because we are living in a free world. So our cultures, our practices is not important anymore. Because we are free people, we can decide to do whatever we want to do. We have the right to our body. So we can just decide to, come on, majesties. We are kings and queens. We have rules that guard our life. We have principles that makes us who we are. We have royalty. So the whole thing just shows how the West and America always in the affairs of the African people and always want to control the African people. And then they go behind telling us, oh, we are the best option for you. Something that is so good, something that is for the good of humanity, why must you force it? Why must you, threaten people to accept it? It is for my good, it's for the good of my people, but my people do not want it. But you are forcing it on us. It's just like the situation of the Sahel countries. Alright? When Macron was loving the Sahel, and the Sahel countries say, no, we don't want you. We don't want France to love us anymore. We don't want America to love us anymore. Please go away. And Macron refused and said, the love is good for you, so you have to accept our love by force. And that's exactly what is going on now. Something that is good for me, if you don't love me, I'm going to die. If you don't help me, I will die. And you are forcing it on me. You're forcing me to be alive. Is there anybody that they're forced to stay alive? No. So why are you forcing LGBTQ on the continent of Africa? If it is something that is so good and it's for the good of our people, why must you force it with sanction? Why must you threaten people with LGBTQ? What do you think, Your Majesties? Leave your thoughts and comment there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.